Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for April 26, 2021 with your host, Spacebreaker2448 and Ramp It Up Salon.
Hello.
I have to find out if I'm getting snapped for my birthday or not, so I know if I have to order it or not myself. Because it comes out Friday. Also, conveniently, because Friday's the 30th, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That's when that Panda Express around here opens, supposedly. I found an article where they were doing a thing with the Boys and Girls Club. Some promotional thing. And it said that the opening day is April 30th.
I could see it because I think it's been a week or two since I was over by that way, and it looked like all they were doing now was just finishing up like the parking lot and stuff.
The parking lot was paved, or is paved, last I was told.
Then yeah, it's probably it's probably completely gonna open the 30th.
It's weird. It's just like, what do you want to have for your birthday dinner? Let's do fucking Panda Express. I don't need a fancy sit-down restaurant. No, fuck that. Give me fast food, Chinese food. That I haven't had since I graduated college. Also, thank you, Charizard, for solving my issue of I want to do something for Pokemon for the anniversary this year. Now I have a thing to do for Pokemon for the anniversary this year that will go catastrophically wrong, I'm sure.
Possibly.
You have given me the power to fuse any Pokemon I want, and those Pokemon can evolve.
Also, I wanted to kind of pop in and just see how the fusion thing works. Apparently, it's not the way that you were thinking.
Okay.
Pika Lord is actually the inverse. A Wailord and a Pikachu. Because I did a Charmander and a Pidgey, and yeah, the naming's actually inverse of what you would think.
Okay.
Because the way it wound up doing that one, it actually dropped the start of Charmander and the end of Pidgey.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Is it
little different?
But is it order operations dependent?
Maybe.
Like if
they only give you one to begin with, so I didn't go far enough in to find out because, yeah, I want that to be an on the fly. I was just curious because, yeah, I would have figured Pika Lord would have been Pikachu plus Wailord, not Wailord plus Pikachu.
But I also have to wonder if you can like freely unfuse and then refuse to make like new stuff.
You can.
Ooh.
The thing is, and you also get told this, when you unfuse Pokemon, they lose a little bit of experience. How much? I don't know.
Oh.
But, yeah. And I think it does weird, it averages the levels when you fuse them also.
Makes sense.
Because I had a level 6 Charmander and a level 4 Pidgey, and it turned into a level 5. So, that's another thing to keep in mind. I'm assuming it averages.
Yeah, losing a little experience, oh no, a little bit of grinding can fix that easily. Yeah. So,
yeah,
that's not the worst thing in the world.
Also, you were saying about it'd be enough for every Pokemon twice.
Yeah.
I did read in it, It's got all of Gen 1 and 2 and 101 from Gen 3 to 7.
Oh, okay.
So it does not actually have all of them.
Well, that's fine. That'd be a big ask.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I saw that and I started to put it in chat and I'm like, yeah, we're gonna done lose track of what I'm talking about by the time I get that done. So no, I'll explain it when I get in there.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine that the Gen 3 onward is curated down to like the good stuff.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would be like Pidgey plus like, I don't know, Talo? Like, there's only so many good ways you can do bird plus bird.
Fair. Well, I mean, on top of that, I mean, what would you do with like Pidgey plus Rookidee or something like that?
Yeah, it's meh.
Bird plus Steel Bird? So Steel Bird, got it.
Rickety's not even Seal type yet, is it?
I don't think so at that point.
No, like it would just be flying type.
Yeah. Huh.
So anyway, folks, that's next Thursday, but I'll probably test it out tomorrow. But we have 4 episodes of Beast Wars to talk about for not that long.
Oh, before we get into it, one more thing. Keyboard controls.
It's fine.
It's not the worst thing. It's just one of those, it's like, oh. Okay.
So it's 13 through 16? I don't know why I said 17 for a second. I can't math.
Because in all seriousness, it probably should be.
Probably. I'm an engineer who can't math, can't you tell?
I feel like in all seriousness, it probably should have just been.
Mm-hmm.
That way we wouldn't be split in 2-parters, but meh.
So, any thoughts going into these wonderful batch of episodes?
Yeah, I think I've pretty much done explained that in the pre-show.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot. So we shall kick things off with episode 13, Dark Designs. So we pick up with the Maximals on a scouting mission for Energon and find it deeply buried in a mountain, so it's unusable to them, when they are ambushed by the Predacons. And the ambush is swiftly taken care of by Rhynox, who drops a rock slide on them with his Gatling gun, because that's how Rhynox operates. And as they retreat, Megatron decides, that Rhynox seems smart. Let's capture him. So Tarantulas captures him, and they bring him to the base. And as the Maximals tap in the Rhinox's comm to hear what happens, they hear that Rhinox gets turned into a Predacon.
Also, shoutouts to the continuity issue there. They now have long-range communications using the same short-range communications they had at the start of the show that, weren't working.
Fair.
Just saying.
So, as Rhinox gets the tour of the base and, is about to delve into the secrets of Sentinel, the hologram goes out, so Megatron sends Rhinox to investigate what the problem is, which is Scorponok's job, apparently. And he finds out that a chip is missing that Rhinox stole at some point off camera. And then Rhinox decides, fuck Scorponok, I'm gonna crush him under a bunch of crates because we've secretly turned Rhinox into an asshole. and apparently the smartest person in the room while we're at it. Oops. I think we done goofed. So while Scorponok's getting healed, Wasp and Air drops by and then gets knocked out by Rhinox, and now he's lost his poor little mind for the rest of the episode, thinking he's a Decepticon named Shrapnel.
Which, I mean, he's not too far off.
No, considering a later episode, no, he's not. But that's when Terrorsaur decides to confront Rhinox to be like, "You're trying to usurp Megatron. I want in." And Rhinox rightfully goes, "You will shut the fuck up and you will follow my lead, or I will turn you inside out, good sir." Rhinox, smart enough to know, nope, no, you follow my lead, sir. This is not a two-way, this is not a partnership. No, you follow my lead.
You know, I have to wonder, you know, they turned him into a Predacon.
Yes.
I have to wonder if that didn't do anything to his memories and he still remembers that this flying piece of crap has backstabbed everyone.
Probably.
And it's just like, no, go kill yourself.
I like to also note that the Maximals know this, and Primal is the one going, no, we should take our time on this and let this, like, play out. Because Primal, as established in the show, is a longtime friend of Rhinox's. They know each other, and I'm pretty sure Primal's like, "Oh no, they fucked up. Let's take advantage of this." You've done goofs, sir, and you're paying for this. So at this point, the Maximals have closed in and they're at the base, waiting for the right moment to strike. And that is when Rhinox and Megs confront each other. Megatron's like, "Traitor." And Rhinox is like, "Yeah, but you're not going to stop me." Even as Scorponok and Terrorsaur surround him. But we immediately have them turn on each other because of fucking course he does. The Predacons are fucking useless. By the way, also, if you're wondering where Tarantulas and Black Arachnia are, they got taken out off screen and are just hanging around in a couple of their webs. Poisoned. By their own poison.
Which I don't think is how that works.
I mean, a later episode in this batch says otherwise, but whatever. So, at this point, Rhinox decaps Megatron with his Gatling gun and gloats while standing on the platform for the machine that turned him into a Predacon to start with. Which Megatron then points out, "You gloat too much," shoots the lever to turn him back into a Maximal. At which point the Maximals then break in, blow up stuff. The machine blows up. They run away with Rhinox. The Predacons are like, "Well, that didn't go well. Let's not try that again with someone else." And we end on the Maximals relaxing and having a laugh about Predacons, even though Dinobot's like, I'm standing over here. I'm still technically a Pred. Remember? Whatever. That's our first episode. Which takes us to episode 14, Double Dinobot. So Megatron's next scheme is to clone Dinobot, but just his beast mode, in order to replace proper Dinobot with Clonebot, and the Clonebot will take out Sentinel. And that way, therefore, they get the maximal base.
Because
Good
that
plan.
totally won't blow up in his face.
Right, especially since Clonebot can't transform, and is just flesh and blood. Remember that for later.
Yeah, and you know, that might have been a nice thing to, you know, put in the kids' show.
Yep.
Instead of just, you know, I'm just going to go ahead and say that, implying it later.
Uh-huh.
I won't say how, because we'll get there.
Yep. So Pterosaur gets the duty of dragging Dinobot to a cave and caving it in just so proper Dinobot is out of action for most of the episode until he breaks out of this later. But that's when Clonebot gets to the base and is like, the Predacons, they're in this area. They're planning something. We must go and investigate. And Primal's like, Rat Trap, anything on the scans? And Rat Trap's like, no. Primal's like, why don't you two go investigate? But Dinobot's like, no, we have to go now. We have to go full force. And Primal's like, no. Go scout. What are you doing? Stop it. So they do this. And when they get to the location and they get to this like wood bridge, Dinobot gets Rat Trap to go first on it and then knocks the bridge out, leaving Rat Trap to surf on some lava for a while. Until he gets out of it and regroups with the Maximals later because Rat Trap has to be disposed of for the rest of the episode. But at this point, Clonebot heads back, feigns injury, says Rat Trap's in trouble, tells Primal to go help. He does, so now Clonebot has the base, except no one told him the password. And unfortunately, this Dinobot is this Clonebot is as smart as Dinobot, so he does not understand computers. And no one gave him a thing to hack Sentinel. So he just gets shocked over and over as he tries different passwords. Until Dinobot shows up and like takes the shield down to get in, and then he sees Clonebot and they do the whole mirror stick thing until Dinobot's like, "You're a clone?" And he's like, "Yes, but I'm on the Predacon side." And he's like, "Okay, cool. Transform. I'm going to murder you now." And Clonebot's like, "Oh no." And Dinobot's like, "You can't transform. Fine, I shall murder you as a dinosaur." And then Dinobot untransforms and then gets the shit kicked out of him. Like, he has most of the fight until Clonebot gets one lucky hit in and knocks him down and seemingly wins. Because we cut later to Megatron showing up and Clonebot is about to give him the base, but then turns Sentinel on and shocks him and then runs him off with the rest of the Maximals. Because as we find out that Dinobot took out Clonebot and there's no body because Dinobot ate it.
Because,
Dinobot,
you know, that's how robots work.
Dinobot ate his clone. His flesh and blood clone, mind you. His intelligent flesh and blood clone. He ate him whole.
Now,
what the fuck, show?
Put all of that together. They're robots that are looking like animals.
Right.
So they technically shouldn't be able to eat to begin with. And he just also killed himself, technically.
And ate him.
Yeah.
And ate him. I want to make sure we emphasize.
There's so much wrong with that.
Well, I would like to remind you that we've established an episode with Tarantulas that regular food can be converted into energy for them. They have systems to do that. And also, Rat Trap has been seen on screen eating an apple. So, they can eat regular things. It just gets converted because of the machinery they have in them. But also, Dinobot ate an intelligent version of himself.
Well, intelligent might be stretching it, but...
A sentient version of himself.
There you go.
A sentient version of himself. Potentially alive. Unless he murdered him first and then killed and then ate him.
Oh, no. More than likely alive.
Right.
I mean, we were talking about Dinobot.
And apparently had enough time to clean up the base from when he did this, because I'm pretty sure that would be a very bloody mess. So he had time until Megatron showed up to clean up after he did this.
Except, wait a minute. Except, wait, no, he didn't either, because there was destruction. They made the comment about that when they came back up.
Right.
So, wait.
He didn't clean up that part. He just cleaned up the mess with CloneBot.
But that also then means that he probably dragged him somewhere else on the ship to eat him.
True. We're putting too much thought into this, and it's because there's not much else to talk about this episode besides Dinobot killed and murdered someone and ate them in a children's TV show.
And the rest of the team doesn't really seem concerned about that.
Yeah, Primal's just like, you're disgusting. After Dinobot flicked a piece of the corpse out of his teeth at him.
Huh.
Yeah. That's when he says he's disgusting, is when he did that. Not at the fact that you fucking murdered and killed yourself and ate it.
I mean, I get them not acting weird when he said about him killing his clone.
Right.
Because out of everyone that is in that room at that point, yeah, Dinobot would be the one to kill someone.
True.
The rest of it, though.
Yeah. And I remind you, at least one other person on the Maximals would technically be a carnivore. And even Cheetor's like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that best sums up our thoughts on these first two episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we move on to the second half?
I guess so.
All right, we kick off with episode 15, The Spark. So we follow a stasis pod entering orbit after it gets struck by a meteor. It lands in a wasteland that has energon geysers because action scene setup. The Predacons spot this on radar and deploy Blackracking and Scorponok. Rhinox and Cheetor spot this separately from where they're at and head to it themselves. They'll actually get there first. Cheetor radios Tigatron to inform base, and Tigatron will delay the Predacons for like 5 seconds. But we follow Rhinox as he gets there first. He finds it damaged, and he tries his best to repair it. Cheetor arrives and will donate a chip to help it run better. And this is when we get an explanation of Sparks, which I believe is the first time in the franchise Sparks are ever, like, explained. Like, consider that for a second, that it takes this long for what makes a Transformer to be explained in this random one-off episode of Beast Wars.
Yeah, that actually kind of seems weird.
For reference, sparks are what is essentially a Transformer's soul, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
It's their core, it's their consciousness. So that's the thing they're trying to keep alive in the stasis pod, because otherwise this protoform has kind of no identity. Presumably, I think. I honestly don't know.
That I don't know.
Someone with deeper Transformers lore would have to say so otherwise. Yeah, Cheetor donates his ship, which helps, but the Predacons are en route. But that's because Tigatron managed to find Scorponok and freeze him with his gun only to then get hit with a venom bullet from Black Arachnia. So Black Arachnia is now on her way. So 2 of them are disposed for the rest of the episode. So Cheetor has to fight Black Arachnia to stop her from getting the Rhinox. He gets his ass beat, but then actually catches the venom bullet and throws it back at Black Arachnia, which works on her. So therefore, I guess their venom works on themselves. I guess.
I don't get.
Yeah. Bravo, you made a thing that also affects you. Maybe you should fix that. Eventually, Rhinox man KOs himself to get the program to scan for DNA to get up and running, which apparently there is nothing for it to scan at all, even though the Predacons scanned at least 3 fossils to get 3 of their forms. So there's not even a fossil within range. Which, how far does that go?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Also, don't you count? Can't you just go, scan me, do me, give us another version of me as at least a stopgap? We'll worry about it later.
At that, I would have to think is no.
Yeah.
Because I'm going out on a limb and saying they can't rescan.
Fair.
And I also have to wonder, since they have to scan a living thing, if that actually does exclude them.
Probably. But while Rhinox does this, Cheetor has to deal with Waspinator and Pterosaur, who have also showed up. And Waspinator gets blasted by an Iron John Geyser, but Pterosaur broke off, confronts Rhinox, only for a helpful eagle from earlier in the episode to show up and get scanned. So, hey, we have Air Razor now, the only other female character in the show. Literally. And that is subjective depending on the dub of this show. If we're talking about the Japanese dub, no, because I believe Air Razor is male in Japan. I think. Air Razor's male in a dub of the series somewhere in the world. Because for some reason, when it comes to female Transformers, or just I think some Transformers in general, they get really like fluid on the gender, and sometimes they're male, sometimes they're female, sometimes they're both, depending on the dub. I think it's like one specific dub of Cybertron, I think, Overdrive, who's a female Transformer in the English dub, but male in Japan is both depending on the voice actor of the episode. Because the voice actors, because it's different voice actors depending on the episode, and the voice actors go from male to female to back to male over the course of the dub. So technically, Overdrive's both. It's really dumb. And wonderfully inconsistent. Anyway, Air Razor's here. She dismantles Pterosaur handedly because it's your first episode. You get fun. She thanks Rhinox for saving her life, and she gets to tour of the base, and everyone's happy with the new recruit. That unfortunately has to be chopped out in the next episode. Oops.
Yeah.
Which takes us to our final episode, The Trigger, Part 1. So Tigertron's reporting in the base for this weekly report when he's attacked by Waspinator and Pterosaur, who proceed to knock him off a cliff into a cloud that he doesn't fall out of. So Waspinator and Pterosaur go in and try to find him, only to run into fire that shreds them. Primal gets to this location later, finds the damage, and presumes Tigertron might be dead from all the damage. But as we find out from following Pterosaur and Waspinator, that Air Razor spot going back to base, they report there's an island in the cloud. It's the Animarium from Power Rangers Wild Force. Because I'm making the reference. Because I feel like it. It has a fancy tower that responds to gunfire and blows you up for shooting things. Because metaphors, I guess. I honestly don't know. It's an alien thing. Like alien as in something that's not from the Transformers.
Fair.
So Tigertron's on the island, and after Megatron reports this, he deploys Scorponok and Black Arachnia to go investigate. So the two of them do. Air Razor reports all of this, or at least reports Pterosaur and Waspinator returning and looking beat up. And Primal's like, well, you go follow Scorponok and Black Arachnia to this cloud thing and figure out what the fuck's going on. So she does. She follows them as they lasso their way up, only for her to get blown out of the sky by Scorponok because Scorponok's a good shot. But before he did this, he shot in a Cyber Bee to Scout, and Tigertron caught it, and he recorded a message and he sent it to Maximal Base, which is where we leave the episode because the message gets to base because Cheetor's a bad shot because him and Rat Trap found it. And Tigertron's like, there's an island. It has a very powerful tower. The Predacons are here. If they get this, we're fucked. Help. Also, along the way, Tigertron tripped a bunch of booby traps, which I'm pretty sure means that this place is not friendly at all. Despite what Tigertron will say in the next episode. But that is the episode, and that's the other two episodes for this week. How'd you feel about them?
I hate that we had a cliffhanger like that again.
Yep. Damn you, show, and your oddball pacing of two-parters.
Yeah, honestly, like I said on the pre-show, kind of had more interest in the last episode than the other three.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when we get to see the good Beast War stuff. And by good, I mean this is the quality of writing for seasons 2 and 3. When we get there. After we get through 26 episodes.
Yeah, at least it won't be too much more though.
Yeah. But any other thoughts?
No.
Alright, then next, hopefully Sunday, we will pick this up and see the second half of Trigger along with the next 3 episodes. If it ends up being Monday, it might be a short notice on if it's happening or not, because I'm getting my second vaccination shot that day, and supposedly it's supposed to kick your butt, so I don't know. My ass might be laid out by it. We'll find out in a week. But between now and then, we'll be wrapping up the rest of Miles on Thursday. Friday will be us doing more Master Chief Collection. Which, I double-checked my file. I'm actually now only missing 2 suits. It's the 2 after the white 2099 suit. I need to get the specific names and tell you them. Yeah. That's the only suits I'm missing with their specific upgrades and stuff. I have all the gadget upgrades, and I have all the skills.
Okay. So I will need to work on the gadget upgrades then.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see if I can get the last two suit things just to get them. But I think I need to do a bunch of base and crime stuff. Which that's actually all I'm missing on my main on like the main campaign for that percentage is crime. Which sucks because it's all random.
Yeah. Yeah, tell me about it.
Just swinging around this sector being like, I kind of want crime to happen. Need crime. There's crime. Need stop crime. Crime. Crime any day now. Crime. Crime.
That is like part of the reason why I went ahead and did a new game plus file. Was because some of those will just come up as you're going.
Yeah. But Saturday, I'm stupid. It's podcast, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm like, it's not the podcast, is it?
Yep, it is.
Okay. It'll be the podcast where I don't know. I'll get the gush about Pokemon Snap if I get it by then. I hope.
Hopefully.
And hopefully I get the gush about it. And hopefully it's good. But yeah, if you like what you're seeing, drop a follow. Really appreciate it. Shipping away that affiliate goal. Add you soon on Twitter. Gets you updates when we're live. Next Switch Point Discord and chat. Get your Discord link. Drop by. Say hi. We will see you Thursday, folks.